Hello, hello, my kindred spirits out there. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done one of these longer form videos, okay? But I really need to get one of these out, okay? Now, of course, by the title of the video, I am sure that I got your attention, okay? And I didn't mean to make it so clickbaity, but it kind of does describe like what I have been going through, and the things that I want to tell you about is so like, I hate the word esoteric, but it's spiritual, right? It's very spiritual. And as you guys know, things that are spiritual in nature, okay, it's hard to explain like in human words. And it's like almost something like you have to have gone through it to understand. And what I realized is that not many people have had the privilege of going through this kind of a transformation. Like in the Christian community, it would just be like, yeah, you've changed, you've become more like Christ. But it's like, oh yeah, we're all being sanctified and we're all changing into becoming more like Christ and being in the image of Christ, right? But those are words that we could all kind of like intellectually understand. But unless you have actually gone through the transformation, unless you've actually met God in that deep way, that deep and profound way, which I truly feel like most people haven't, because it takes work. I mean, not all the time, obviously. Like sometimes God can get a hold of you at any time, and change you and transform you. I'm thinking of Saul, who turned into Paul, right? And the road to Damascus and how instantaneous that was. But there's other ways that you can truly commune and become one with God, you know, and sometimes that's people that have actually done the work. You've done the work, okay? And you sought God and you wrestled with God, and at the right time he did something to you, okay? So when I say in the title of this video, okay, I'm a witch, it's because that is how most other Christians would perceive me and my experience and how much I've changed. Because it, you know, wasn't even, I don't even like the word change. Does a butterfly just change into a butterfly? No, the butterfly transforms and metamorphosizes into a butterfly. The metamorphosis is one form turning into an entirely different form. So you are nothing like what you were before. You know, okay, so like, let's say like, you know, the word change is like so weak to me. It doesn't do the transformation justice. It's like saying, oh, the caterpillar changed because it got some wings and, you know, it changed its colors. No, it didn't just go through like little minute changes that made it look better or sound better or taste better or whatever better. It actually changed into completely, it transformed into something else. It didn't just grow little wings. It didn't just, you know, get more vibrant colors on its caterpillar skin. It didn't get like more shiny or something like that. it is completely not what it was. It changed from one form to something completely different. Okay? Am I getting that point across? Okay, because this is really important and profound, okay? And as I'm talking about this, like, I'm praying and hoping that somebody can understand what the hell I'm talking about, okay? Because I tell you something, when you try to explain your experience to someone, like like let's say in the church or something like that, they don't understand. I've tried. They don't understand because they did not go through that. It's like you're the butterfly and you're talking to a caterpillar. You are a butterfly and you're trying to talk your butterfly language with a caterpillar. That's not going to work. Okay? And so what I'm saying is, when I went through that spiritual awakening, okay, that was towards the end of 2021, and then it really started to kick in 2022. And that's when I started to change, because God showed me who I was. He took away the identity, that whole identity of who I thought I was. And he said, no, you're going to have to let that go. This is who you are, right? So that old self, that old part of me just died, you know, and everything that was associated with it. And there was a really hard grieving, and I'm still kind of grieving it. There's still a part of me that like doesn't want to let that go, because I was that person for 10 years. Okay? And basically it was that person that was very religious, and I was all into the theology and like soaking in my brain with like doctrine and apologetics, and thinking like I had to convert every single person because I was a Christian, right? I had to convert every single person that I met into being a Christian, because that's what we as Christians do. And all it did nothing, because most of the times the people weren't ready or wanting that. And in the end, it didn't really matter. Like, I mean, I lost friendships. I couldn't form friendships because of that. Like, I was in this strict Christian box. Like I've mentioned this before in my other videos, but I have to talk about this again because it just keeps coming up. It just keeps coming up. Okay? Like, even now, like the way that I'm showing up in the world is so different because I've let that part of me go. I didn't even let it go. God said that part must die. This is who you are. Okay? It wasn't me. I didn't ask for this. If God didn't intervene, I would have kept being that super religious Christian who was so passionate about apologetics and doctrine and theology. And I almost thought about going to like freaking like, you know, divinity, getting a divinity degree or going to seminary. I was like, that was me. Okay. You know, I thought I was called to be an evangelist. I never freaking really converted not one person. And I on average, I evangelize more than the average Christian because I'm more bold. My personality is more bold. And it all it did was like cause me heartache and pain because the person just hated my guts. Okay, so anyways, so this new version of myself, that because I evolved as a person, okay, this new person, I'm realizing is like, so different from the previous form that this new version looks like I'm to the Christian community, I'm blasphemous, I'm heretical, I am preaching a false gospel. Okay? I mean, and it's like, they're like, please come back to the truth. I'm like, I have the truth. Please don't spread a false gospel. And I'm like, what have I said? What have I said that is a false gospel? I never preached the gospel in a false way. And they think that the messages that I'm talking about now, which is really about, self-improvement, and I'm talking about personal development within the context of my Christian faith. As I'm doing that, like suddenly I'm not allowed to be a Christian who's into personal development. Like I can only speak the gospel in every single message, in every single video that I post. Like it has to be, hey, you're a sinner before a holy God. Okay. And Jesus Christ came and you guys know the gospel. Okay. Like they're saying that because I'm talking about something that I'm passionate about, self-development within the context of my faith. Okay. They're saying that I'm preaching a false gospel. I am a new age witch. And by the way, I appreciate the new age way of using words, okay? Because it was only through new age type videos that I understood what I went through, the spiritual awakening, the dark night of the soul, stuff that Christians don't talk about. And so when I thought God saved me from new age, it's not that I was saved from it. It's that I had a different perspective on it because that's how Christianity, it kind of, religion like goes, okay, this is this and you're out of this box, so that's wrong. Like, no, it's not really wrong. There is something to glean from the new age way of speaking or using words, okay? Like when I'm talking about energy and stuff like that, like a Christian lady was like, don't use the word energy. Why not? It's just a freaking word. It's just a word. And it's a word that describes in a way that I can understand in my own mind, like my experiences. Like when I'm feeling something and within my body, okay, when I'm near somebody, a toxic person, and I'm feeling that toxicity within my body, the New Agers gave me a linguistic framework to be able to describe what I'm experiencing. And sometimes those kinds of words can't be found in the Bible. Everything cannot be a Bible verse. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm talking about in the way to express something. I'm not saying that the Bible is wrong. I'm not saying the Bible is not true. I'm not saying any of that. Okay? So I don't even know if you guys are understanding what I'm saying. And I'm sorry, it is so dark in here. I'm in my car. I took some time alone. And I realized that, I wanted to just get out here and make a video, and it's so dark and it's at nighttime, but I'm just like, you wouldn't believe like the kinds of messages that I've been getting from Christians saying that I don't have the truth. Oh, excuse me. I do have the truth, and I never said anything that was false. It's just because I'm not showing up the way that I used to, because that person has kind of died. That person is gone. That old version of me, stop trying to treat me like the old version, because that person no longer exists. That was 1.0 and now it's 2.0. Okay. And so, I'm just getting so much, not so much. Okay. I'm not saying I get a lot of support, but it's just so annoying because it's like, I can't explain myself, and I shouldn't have to explain myself. I don't need to explain myself to anybody, but just like they don't understand. They don't get it. And yes, we're all on different, levels in our spiritual faith walk and stuff like that. But it's like, listening to that, I just realize how far I've come, how far I've elevated. Okay. This is getting really long. So maybe I'll make a part 2. I don't know.